Thank you, Madam Speaker. Let me define land degradation according to the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization definition. Madam Speaker, as I've stated in my response to the Honourable Mbulitabu's question, land degradation is not only limited to land and soil. It includes other land-based resources. So land degradation can be described as how land resources, that is soil, water, vegetation, and climate has changed for the West. Because of development, most of our resources are changing for the West. Madam Speaker, when we talk about sustainable development these days, there are three major issues. One is food security because of land degradation. The other one is energy, also because of land degradation, forestry, and climate. The other issue, Madam Speaker, is water resources. So this is why land degradation is a major concern and is a major issue as far as sustainable development is concerned. Because land degradation, according to the definition, is not only about land and soil, it's about resources that are very connected, closely related to land resources as well. As I've stated, soil, water, vegetation, and climate. How does this threaten the sustainable livelihood of future generations, Madam Speaker? In so many ways. I'll just limit it to a few. One is food security. It's very, very important because when soil is changing to the west, we have, I'll give one example, Madam Speaker, right now in Taveuni, we have a big problem in Taveuni on depleting soil fertility. Because farming in Taveuni is continuous. They harvest yangona, they plant dal. They harvest dal, they plant cassava. There is no time given for the land to follow and replenish itself. That is husbandry practice, that is sustainable land management practice. So we have a serious problem now in Taveuni. This is about land changing to worse conditions. Because of depleting soil fertility, it has affected our export levels as well. When I was Divisional Commissioner Northern, Madam Speaker, the rejection for Ndalo in Taveuni was 10 to 15%. Now it's 30 to 40%. So we are looking at ways in which we can address that issue very quickly. So one, it threatens food security, and that is how it's going to affect the future livelihood. Secondly, Madam Speaker, is related to food security is biodiversity as well, because land, on land we have forest, we have water and everything, and we talk about biodiversity, the different birds, the food chain and everything. So this is how it's going to affect the future generation as well. And because of that as well, Madam Speaker, and this will probably my last answer to this very simply, economic security will be affected as well. Because most of our people, they are rural-based, and they are agro-based, and their livelihood is agriculture. When land is threatened, when the vegetation is threatened, when the soil is threatened, and when the climate is, it affects income as well. And it will, on a security perspective, Madam Speaker, we've just had the World Humanitarian Summit. When these issues are affected, when water is affected, when climate is affected, when food is affected, there will be a lot of movements. And that can threaten security as well, or impingements on security to some extent. So that's the response to the question, Madam Speaker.
Supplementary question,
Yes,
Honourable Nukula.
Could the Honourable Minister outline what measures are there that are already in place to stop this threat?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thank the Honourable Member for the question. It's about individual responsibility. Let's all take ownership. Farmers, fishermen, villagers, leaders, let's all take ownership because it affects all of us. Government has a role, Madam Speaker, and government is not working in isolation. We, under the UN umbrella, Madam Speaker, we have what we call the UNCCD, the United Nations Convention for the Combat of Degradation. and Fiji is aligned under UNCCD. In terms of funding, Madam Speaker, apart from funding that is allocated to resource-based sectors in Fiji, we are working with the Global Environmental Facility as well, GEF, to get some funding. And the message, Madam Speaker, again goes back to sustainable land use and management practice. The Honorable Kilraki in our last session highlighted most of the issues that we are facing in Fiji. And of course, in one of the later sittings of Parliament this year, Madam Speaker, we will discuss the land use policy and sustainable whatever, the act that is coming, Madam Speaker. Because we must admit the fact, Madam Speaker, that the arrangement right now in our legislation is very loose. There is only a certain clause in the lease document that talks about husbandry practices, which is very weak. And we need to review that, and we have the land use policy, the act that is coming, and we will have a look at that in detail so that we can address this issue and of course look at sustainable development in the future.
Honorable Ratiso, supplementary question.
Yes, thank you. There is certainly some issues on the rotation of crops in Taveuni, and yet you still have some problems in regards to the produce coming out of that land. But let's see the sugar areas after Nosuri, Ponolevu, and the whole of the West. Sugar, is it suffering from the same land degradation? And if it is, should sugar be continued as the main crop in this country?
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Husbandry practices go across the board, irrespective of the commodity, the practice that you are involved in, whether you are a livestock farmer, whether you are a vegetable farmer or a crop farmer, and sugar is also included in this. Again, as I've stated, Madam Speaker, the arrangement is very loose. Let me give you an example. Contour planting. There are certain ways in which we should do cropping on hilly slopes. And there are even gradients where we are not supposed to plant at all. This is where soil erosion is happening. And that is why, in my response to one of the earlier questions, Madam Speaker, we should all take responsibility. Farmers, you should practice good, sustainable land management so that we minimize erosion. And there are other, that does not mean, Madam Speaker, that we cannot use the hills. There are ways in which we can mitigate that through agroforestry, the use of vetiver grass and other deep-rooted species that are around that can control soil erosion in these places. But definitely sugar, we need the sugar industry. But it's about advocacy, it's about changing the mindset, it's about taking responsibility, because if the risk is involved, the risk can be managed, the risk can be reduced. That's where sustainable land management practice comes in, Madam Speaker. Thank you.